being able to identify stuff like that, it's a skill. There's a skill involved in it, and like a lot of skills in a social setting and stuff like that, it involves practice. You need to practice your observations. You need to practice being able to identify and take in your stimulus, and also being able to recognize the relationships of your environment around you and stuff like that. An interesting thing is when you run, okay, it is a possibility. There's a pretty decent possibility, and I've seen this firsthand. I've been part of this. When you run, you running like gives a boost. It gives a boost of what do you call it? It gives a boost of, it's not just strength, but confidence, right? It gives a boost of confidence to the perpetrator, to the attacker, to the predator and stuff when they see you run. So you need to be careful like that as well. There's little tricks and stuff that you can use, and we'll get to them and stuff. But the moment you choose to run, or if you run on instinct, but then realize, or the running failed or didn't work, or you ran out of the run, or you changed your mind, okay, that confidence level of your opponent, of that predator now, is through the roof, okay? Do not underestimate confidence. There's so many things that we can talk about. One of the best ways to think about and see confidence, you should understand it, but is you look at it in a sporting environment and stuff like that, setting and stuff in sports, and you hear about it all the time. And some people they don't give it as much validity. They don't recognize it as much. But I'm one who does recognize it a lot. I've seen it so many times in a lot of circumstances. And a person has, and it's not just in a sporting thing. You could probably identify it in many things, but in a sporting one is really, the person has all the skills in the world, and maybe a couple of weeks ago or a month ago they were on top of the world, okay? But now and let's just say, sometimes one thing or something happens and they're not really doing much else different. Okay, but their performance is now poor or suffering or declining, and so a lot of times it's confidence. And don't underestimate what's involved with confidence. So you're saying, I don't read into confidence too much. No, there's a couple of other very relevant key terms, factors that are involved in confidence. For example, okay, belief or doubt. So when a person's confidence starts to get shaky and decreases, okay, doubt creeps in more. So for a basketball player, okay, you're talking split seconds, right? And see how this applies in a self-defense setting condition as well? We're talking split seconds. In a split second, I need to feel confident that the choice I make, okay, that unfolds the set of options from that choice, that I can do those options. Happens all the time. Receive the pass, shoot. Second nature. Boom, do not think of anything. But when your confidence is shaky, you receive the pass, you say, well, maybe a stutter step, a dip or something that I shake off the defender or freeze the defender a little bit because I'm not feeling confident. I'm not feeling confident. It could be doubt in the sense that maybe I think the defender is going to be really close and they're going to block me. So, these things, when we're talking, so there's the difference between split seconds and stuff like that. And it's critical. So, when do I see confidence for beginners and stuff? Because with that type of confidence, maybe you see it a lot in the more advanced type of thing. But where do I see confidence in beginners? Confidence in beginners is when, and this is all legit, it's hard for beginners and regular people to identify what they should or can do, okay, and what probably they shouldn't be able to do well if they haven't trained and practiced it, right? So I get this one all the time. used to get this one all the time. I still actually, in when we get into training, when I work on some extra special techniques, I get this a lot. Okay, we standing next to each other. Okay, you can either have this full belief and the confidence that I'm going to be able to see you move, see you twitch. You're not going to have a very large blind side from me or on me and stuff. But because the truth is, in other circumstances and ways you present yourself, you certainly can have a large blind side. And people get into this like tunnel vision, and because what happens is the stress, the fear, and it's all legit, and it is stressful, and it is a fearful moment of this violence about to break up. You get the tunnel vision, but not the tunnel vision of just your sight. You get the tunnel vision of all of your senses, of the relationship between decisions, options, and action and stuff. So people don't think that, they're just being hulked over, and now you're in that situation, right? And it's a perfect example, and I analyzed heaps and stuff. Great debate too. When someone says heads, well, look out, right? Do you just cover? Do you just cover up? Okay? Or do you think that there's enough time to take a look and actually see, okay, what you're covering or what you should be heads up about and stuff? So it depends, right? Well, it depends who you're with. If I'm with a lot of friends and we're familiar with each other, or within a certain setting, like in sports or whatever, we understand when somebody says heads up or whatever, you just know to put your head down, cover your head. So it's just something passing by, a ball or whatever, you're going to be all right. But I did contemplate. There are other times, okay, when stuff was going down, or true. There are other times when stuff was going down where I made the choice to try to identify the problem, because if I could see what was happening, what I might need to avoid, what I might need to duck from, sometimes from the sky, I have way more options. It could just be the difference between just a slight tilt like this, but I always thought it was so final. It was so all your eggs in one basket to just say, I have no idea. No idea where it is, when is it coming, when. This happens in fighting all the time, and for the average decent folks and stuff. When violent situation breaks out, okay, it just, okay, and from here, that's it. From here, you're doomed. You're in a very bad situation, but if you just, and it's the confidence, right? The confidence, the belief that you can. It's the belief that I'm getting into an argument with this person right now, okay? And you may not have a tremendous amount of experience fighting, throwing punches, whatever, but don't bullshit yourself, okay? You are a master, like everyone is. You are a master, okay, at seeing stuff, because that's what we do. We all are. You just have to have the confidence, the trust, okay, or the calm, that you're going to function in this particular circumstance of high stress and danger, to say this person's arguing at me right now, blah, 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 right? And you get the hands and stuff, and you're looking, and you just keep your eye on them and stuff, because you're going to see. Now, there's a lot, we're just talking simple in the sense, we're talking basic, the beginning, getting you in. Now, of course, if in this whole process, okay, the hands start, so now he's breaking that, so this is camouflage. You never know when this is going to be to you, okay? If they start raising their hand like this or whatever, it's already a little bit closer to you. So in that particular case, your chance of determining when this is actually going to be a strike, okay, is getting a little bit more difficult. So this is when you back away, okay? And if that person continues to come forward, okay, there's lots of stuff I'll tell you about. And one of the things that I love to do, and I learned this a little bit later, is instead of trying to bring this macho thing, I brought this honest vulnerability. Okay, and it was a little bit confusing, but it was great for me, for my size. It was a bit confusing and stuff, but ultimately it was honest. And I used to say, "Listen, man, you're making me nervous." And then sometimes people used to, when we continued the argument, they would be like, "What do you, some version of, what do you mean making you nervous?" or whatever. So I said, "Yeah, man, I said, looks like it's getting really violent. This feels very dangerous to me. So I'm just letting you know that I'm feeling very nervous right now. I'm feeling very afraid. And if they laugh and they scoff, well, that's fine, okay? But some of the reasons I did that is because I was giving them a chance. In my world, I needed to be righteous, okay? And because that was important to me. I tried to make an effort, okay, to do the right thing and stuff. I tried to make an effort to just not say, he insulted me, bam, you should have known, sucker. I mean, you know what I mean? And there are some people truly you feel like that, right? But at the same time, okay, I know when I go home, I would know, okay, did I just, was I too extreme? Did I have to do that? Do I have to teach everyone a lesson who should be taught a lesson? So at the very least, if someone is arguing with you, okay, and you still have that chance or whatever, you back off, and if they're still approaching, but they're not, but it's still like an argument, so you say, hey, listen, man, okay, just back off, man. You're making me really nervous. It's feeling like you're going to get violent. And they say, well, that's right. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll punch you in the face. I just, please, man, please. So long as you can maintain them at the distance that you feel confident in, that you can identify when they're going to punch you, you're going to be all right. You're going to be a lot better. And plus, you're going to learn a lot more stuff. That's all it takes. You think somebody's going to punch you, okay? Don't just take my word for it. Watch every single combat sporting thing you ever did. That's all it takes. All it takes. When somebody throws a punch at you, that's it. That's all it takes for that punch to go from a 100% potential, lethal, amazing shot to possibly completely nullified, completely missed. And I'm not talking a massive duck. All it takes is one little flinch. All it takes is one little flinch to turn a direct smash into a shot that just grazes or goes by. All it takes is one little dip. You don't think you have confidence? You don't think you have the confidence if you train that or just focused on that to stare at somebody, to watch the hands, and as soon as they see that coming, to flinch? Sure you do.